please. Because this has been a partnership between the City of Yonkers, the County of Westchester, and every other government agency. Many of you probably don't know that this museum was originally established by the City of Yonkers. The mansion was there, they turned it into an art museum, there was an elephant in the front courtyard. When it got too big, the City of Yonkers built the contemporary wing, and this wing was originally built as a branch of the Yonkers Public Library system. We want to continue the educational tradition that this building started. This is going to be an education center for the entire museum. And people have asked me, why did I come here? I lived in Chappaqua at the time. I moved to Scarsdale to be a little closer, but I am a county person. And I wanted a sense of place. And I found that here at this museum, at the time when it could no longer be supported fully by the City of Yonkers, we went to the county. They said, yes, we're very interested in it. And in that small window between the City of Yonkers giving it up and the County of Westchester taking it over, what do you know? We're a private institution. And that has been the best of both possible worlds. As a private institution, we can appeal to corporate funding, to foundation funding, to city funding, to county funding, to federal funding, and to you, the individual people who make it work. The ones who really make it work, I believe, are the ones who come here and spend their time. The ones on the staff, the wonderful guards who greet me so marvelously every day, the young people who are in the docent programs, the older people who are in the docent programs, the senior citizens who are in our wonderful senior programs, the staff, the curators. Everyone through this institution cares about it to spend their time, and it's time that we have such a limited amount to spend. If we care enough to spend our time here, we are really giving what is important. And I want you to know that I never would have left as acting director, because I was really acting. I knew nothing about it. But there was nobody else to run the store, including the store. And so I was the acting director until we found Philip. And then I knew we were in good hands, and that the tradition that we all wanted would carry on, and that this institution would grow and prosper. We used to call it the best kept secret in Westchester. It's not anymore. It's now the biggest little museum in Westchester. Where are you, Connie? Get that one. Gotcha. I did have a lot of things written down on these envelopes, and I've forgotten where they are and what to do. But I want you to know that I do have 12 children, really. 8 of them are here today. And I do have 25 grandchildren, really. And 8 of them are here today. And what Leonard and I had in mind for this institution is for the children and the grandchildren. That's really what counts. We all know that that is our immortality, and that is what this institution is all about. We want them to come and learn art, history, and science in a place that is dedicated to them. It's a hands-on, touchy-feely place where they can know that learning is good, important, and accessible to them. And I've forgotten everything that I wrote on those 2 envelopes, and that's enough for today. People who are here, Smyra Brandon of the Yonkers City Council, and Andrea Stewart-Cousins, a county legislator. And we need all your votes and all your help, because we vote, you vote for the museum. board keeps telling me that we can't make the budget and we can't make it work unless we have a lot of friends giving a little contribution. A little piece makes a big piece. Oh, what's that? The children going through the floor of the... But we all know, you all know that this is my birthday. And when Leonard said, what do I want for my birthday? I said, I want the museum. So he gave it to me. And I thank you all for all giving me this wonderful event. And many of you have given gifts to the museum for my birthday, and I really appreciate that. That is really what my birthday is all about. It's for the museum, and I thank you, all of you, who have contributed in that way. Thank you.
We told Joyce that this would build up to a crescendo and soon everybody would understand why we're here. Now, we would like all of the Greene grandchildren to come up here.
Come on, come here.
And all of the junior docents to come up here. Please.
Charlie, Jody,
Where's our
come
junior-
on. Come on, Jody. Come on, Jody.
Now, this will be a moment of history.
Come on,
It's the
Jody.
only time, it's the only time we're ever going to be able to do this, kids. Now we're going to get the littlest child, two littlest children that each have here. We're all going to sing Happy Birthday to Joyce. And as we do that, the two littlest children, instead of blowing out candles, are going to pull the string and unveil the great sign that reveals the Joyce Greene Center, okay? Do we have a selection of children?
We have them all.
Well, Joyce, you gotta give us the two littlest, one on each string.
Jody, Poppy needs you to pull a string.
Charlie, you go on one string, and you go on the other string. Okay, here we go.
All right, everybody ready? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Now for the second half of our program, you're all invited to the planetarium for a very special regular museum presentation, planetarium show that Leonard has wanted to do for my birthday for many years. And I said, I'm only having one birthday party, and you may do the presentation. Come into the planetarium with us.
Because he threatened. Maybe he'll be up there.
Good turnout for her. She deserves it.
I didn't realize all the work she's done. Oh, yes,
You got it. You're fine. There you are. Thank you.
Yes, you sit with Moppy. You find Moppy? You'll find Moppy and sit with her. Up front.
Your sword.
Oh, good.
There's a little button up top there. What's that?
Now, I got a present when I came here today. I'm another sword. Now,
Whichever is more comfortable for you.
I'm going to do whichever is brighter because it would help if I could find the right one.
The other direction.
That's one. And this one here is...
Seats, so children sit on laps or on the floor.
They're identical.
Just about. Well, they probably would be.
There are lots more seats up front.
Which would you use?
I use one. I'll take them both in case the battery runs out.
Hey, well, you got fresh batteries.
Did you know the story about the smuggling of a turkey into China in the middle of the war? We got through the Japanese blockade, and they got this turkey in for Thanksgiving to celebrate and follow all the warlords. And so Madam Ambassador has all these warlords sit there, and the servant brings in the turkey, trips on the threshold, and the turkey just goes sliding down across the floor. And she says, "Boy, clean up that mess and bring in the other turkey." Always pays to have it.
Exactly. Well, you've got two. Just in case.
The other turkey.
Hi, Sybil, how are you? Good, good to see you. Hi, good to see you. Good. There are more seats here. Yeah. Sybil, Carol.
My first mistake. I didn't bring the back of an envelope. My second mistake is I didn't bring my eyeglasses either. We don't want to start the lights quite so soon. I still have a little bit more to memorize. Can we have the lights stay on a little bit longer, please? That's Patrick. He's my slave, but he's wonderful. Joyce and I had a conversation which relates to tonight's ceremony. She said, we can go to the Lincoln bedroom for $100,000. I said, honey, I don't care which bedroom you pick. It's worth it.
That was a deeper joke than
Tonight we're going to talk about time, and there's many different ways of telling time. We can tell time by looking at the sun. In fact, that's the way they did it before there were any clocks invented. And now everything's reversed, because we really don't look at the clock to see where the pointer is. We look at the clock to see where the sun is, so it's going backwards. When I was 4 years old, I knew what time bedtime was when the street light went on. We're going to talk about how to tell time by looking at the stars. You're going to find it's very easy. It's about as easy as looking at a clock. In fact, we'll find that clock up in the sky. So in order to start finding that clock, the first thing we need to do is to have the stars. Now, Patrick, please. We're in Central Park, and it's nightfall. We know what time it is because nightfall would make it just about 7 o'clock. And the sky is getting brighter with the stars in it, but you can't see too well because of all these buildings that are lit up around here. So Patrick, can you use your magic carpet and bring us to a canoe in the middle of the lake, and we'll get rid of all these buildings out here. We have to be patient. Some computers can't be hurried. Now, real stargazing, one looks for a place without the light from the surroundings, which we call the loom. And must be fabulous to be up in a spaceship where there isn't any loom. And where did that come from?
Yes.
Now, here we are out in that canoe in the middle of the lake, and what we want to do is know which way we're facing. So there's two ways here that we can tell which way we're facing. One is, there's an N over there, which says we're facing north. That's the advantage of being in a planetarium. The other way is to find the North Star. And the North Star is the second most important star in the heavens. The first most important star tonight is my favorite picture of Joyce when she was 4 years old. May we have the picture, please? How about that? You see, I robbed the cradle. I had a long wait, but it was worth it. Now we go to the second most important one, which is the North Star, and we have to have a way of finding it. And our way of finding it is a very convenient, handy-dandy pointer trick that we have here. If you will look at these stars that are right here, they are a dipper. The dipper is sort of emptying out. It's upside down, but there's a handle, and here is a pan, and the lip of the dipper is called the pointer stars. The reason why they're called the pointer stars is because the two pointers are pointing to the North Star. So here we are at the North Star. And the North Star is going to be the center of our clock. Now, lo and behold, all I did was say clock, and a clock appeared in the sky. That's really convenient. I think it's some of Patrick's magic, but that's very handy. We have a clock in the sky, and we have the center of the clock in the sky, but we have a problem with the clock. This clock will not do, because here we are on Earth looking at the clock, and the whole point of the clock was to say how the Earth turns, and it turns once a day, and 12 hours isn't a day, it's only a half day. So therefore, what we have to have is one that is 24 hours. And so we have to go and repair the clock and have a 24-hour clock. Maybe that'll take a while. Maybe we need a little intermission to do it. Can we have an intermission? Put in a commercial? Now, how did that happen? You talk about everybody wanting to get in on the act. That's really one big commercial. That's a family. Okay, you said your piece. Let's go back, and it should be repaired by now. So you got it. Oh yes, a 24-hour clock. Some people say that's 0, and some people say it's 24. But to sound really like a fighter pilot or a ship navigator, you have 22. They say 100, just to know that it isn't. When you say 4, you know it's 0400, so that you know that we're on a 24-hour clock. No, we're getting on pretty well now, because here we have the North Star, and we have a clock around it, and the North Star is the center of that clock, because the thing we want to do is measure how the Earth turns, so we know when it's sunrise and sunset, and we're going to have this clock so that we can see how much of the day we've used up. Now, but no pointer. That's a problem, no pointer. Hey, wait a minute. What about these pointer stars? There they are, going right through to our center. We can say that the pointer stars are a pointer. So we've now got a pointer, so we can start in seeing if we can tell time. So to tell time, we will say, where do we start? Well, we're starting right here with the pointer very conveniently right over the start of the day. And so to get that perfect coincidence, the pointer stars being right at the start of the day, I asked Patrick to give us March 6th. Not September 22nd, but March 6th. And March 6th is a very important date. First reason is the month March is Joyce's unbirthday. And we have to remember the 6th, and we all know about Shakespeare and the Ides of March. Well, this is half of it. So that gets us to March 6th. So we're going to remember March 6th, and March 6th is the time when the pointer stars are right over right midnight. So we are at midnight, March 6th. So now let's start telling time. We'll have Patrick wave his magic wand, and 2 hours will elapse very quickly, and now it's 2 o'clock in the morning. Uh-oh, there's a problem. The clock is running backwards. Oh, we're going to have to fix that. You know what we can do? We can fix that by having a commercial. Can you give us a commercial while you fix the clock? Oh, that's a good commercial. And I recognize those people too. That fellow over there is the one who took these beautiful pictures. A twin having twins. Pretty neat, huh? That fellow there hit a golf ball 320 yards. How about that? Ah, it's fixed. Isn't that great, you know? It's easier to fix the heavens than to tell it on time. And now, if you will look, our pointer star very nicely is going right through 2, and we remember that midnight is straight up. So we know that if we have gone that much of a clock, now this would be on your clock where 11 o'clock is. And I know because I had one of these clocks and it really exercised me a lot. The clock didn't have any numbers on it. It was, you know, one of these modern things. It just had the pointer. Wake up in the middle of the night, you see this clock, but you know, if the pointer is over here instead of the vertical up here, you know, that you could say that was the 11 o'clock position, but here on our 24-hour clock, it's 2 o'clock. So then, in the same way, you know, if the pointer's laying sideways on this thing, that's the 9 o'clock position. But you know, on a 24-hour clock, it goes 2, 4, 6, and that is 6 o'clock in the morning. Now we can practice it once if you'll turn off the clock. Clock disappear. We saw our vertical was up here, goes straight up from the North Star, and we saw that we are just 1/3 the way off vertical, and so we say, without a clock, hey, it's 2 o'clock in the morning. Now,